Hey guys, I'm Takakaze, and today I'll be sharing a few tips and tricks that helped me learn Japanese from nothing. Now, just as a warning, I want to say that these are techniques that worked with me and may not necessarily suit everyone, but I hope you can get something useful, whether you're at the start of your Japanese learning journey or just want some inspiration to change up your learning style. So, a bit of background about me. I'm Japanese, but I've grown up overseas for most of my life, so I pretty much learned Japanese as a second language. I've been studying Japanese on and off for about 7 years now, and till this day, I am still studying. Even though I've managed to secure JLPT N1 under my belt, to me, this is just the beginning of my journey to fluency. I mean, sure, I can watch anime without subtitles, but I don't think I'd be doing too well in a business meeting.
本日の会議を行いたいと思うんですけど、今年の利益について、佐藤くん、君に任せていいかな？
It's alright. It's just a meeting. It's just a meeting. I can get through this. It can't be that hard. Surely not. You know, I've studied Japanese all my life. It's good. I know what's going on. I know what's going on.
はい。最初の資料のページを見てもらいますと、パイチャートが見えると思うんですけれども、このパイチャートは、音声に関するデータなんですけれども、見える通り、いろんなインプルーブメントがありましたね。はい。最初はファイナンシャルゲインが、プラスでしたね。これが一番大きいと思うんですけれども。
Oh God, he's throwing some terms that I've never heard of.
What am I gonna do?
5%
アップしてる感じですね。はい。そして、次のページを見ますと、
So how did I get to pro Japanese levels? To be honest, I'm also surprised that I managed to get decent enough to pass N1. But when I look back, I think there are 3 main points that helped me reach to where I currently am. Immersion. I pretty much learnt the language through watching anime, Japanese YouTubers, and other Japanese media. Immersion is an interesting thing because you don't realize it's actually helping you learn until one day you realize you know a whole bunch of random words and you don't really know why. In my opinion, it's the best way to improve your listening and pronunciation skills. If you don't like anime, watching TV shows that you've watched before, but changing the language to Japanese is a great substitution. If there's a certain hobby you have, or you're into certain niches, there's probably some Japanese person doing it. Probably. As opposed to anime, which, for the most part, does not teach you useful Japanese. Watching Japanese media or Japanese YouTubers are a great way to hear more casual and natural forms of Japanese. If you're more interested in upping your Keigo skills, watching educational YouTubers are a great start. Now, I do have to warn you though, even Japanese people get Keigo wrong, so make sure you're also studying the proper techniques. Grammar. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Why?
Just hear me out though. So, you can write hiragana and katakana, and you know some words from watching anime.
You weeb.
But how are you going to communicate your thoughts with just that? It sucks, but we all need to learn grammar rules, particles, and all that boring stuff. In my experience of studying Japanese, this is what lifted my skills from just knowing some words to actually being able to have a coherent conversation in Japanese. I think there's a lot of content out there about what books you should use and all that, so I'll leave that up to the experts. But what I can say is that when I started taking Japanese class seriously in year 9 and 10, I learned a lot of grammar and my Japanese levels went up drastically. I went from barely being able to string a sentence to actually being able to have a conversation with my mum without struggling too much. Now, mind you, it wasn't that great. I obviously still had gaps in knowledge, but it was a huge difference compared to when I was in year 7 and 8. Grammar helps you understand the context of the sentence and helps bring together the idea of what it is you're trying to say. With vocabulary, you can normally substitute another word. For example, if you don't know the word for workplace, which is kaisha, you could say 仕事する場所 or 仕事するところ, which still gets your point across. But if you use the wrong tense, sometimes that'll get you in a bit of trouble.
ねえ、高和氏。進化知らぬいって進化知らないみたいに聞こえないっすか？
Wait, hang on. I think he's asking if something's a negative. So, I think it's 聞こえない? 聞こえる? Which is it? Oh my god, he's just looking at me. I gotta give him an answer.
うん、聞こえないね。
いやいやいや、そう聞こえないっすか？
Why does he keep asking the same question? What is he asking? What do I say? Do I just keep grinning? Or what's happening? I am making conversation, right?
うん、聞こえない。
はあ、マジっすか。
Personally, I think you've fully conquered a grammatical structure once you can use it in a conversation without having to think about said grammar structure. For example, I understand the structure gatera on paper, and I understand it when I hear others use it. But even then, I don't use gatera most of the time when I should. So in my mind, I still think that I don't fully understand the grammar structure because I don't know when to use it in conversation. And lastly, get that Japanese on. You need to be actively using Japanese whenever you can. I was pretty lucky in the sense that I had my mom, who not only is Japanese, but is also a tutor. So whenever I'd make a mistake, she'd correct me and was able to explain to me why it was grammatically incorrect. Now, obviously, most people wouldn't be able to get such a privilege, but nowadays, there are many ways to practice Japanese with the online world. If you live in Japan, try and get yourself out there and meet some Japanese people. You'd be surprised at how many drunk Japanese people want to speak to foreigners. But just practicing isn't going to get you to fluency. You also need to be able to read. And for that, I read Japanese news articles every day. It doesn't matter whether it's complex news or simple news. Reading will allow you to get exposed to new kanji and new vocabulary. If you're really committed, you can even make notes about new kanji or vocabulary. So here are 3 things that, in my opinion, helped elevate my Japanese skills. Obviously, there are other major things, like studying hiragana, katakana, and kanji, or rote learning, but I think most people already understand that those are key necessities for learning Japanese. The journey's going to be tough, but I hope you got something new out of this video. Alright, thanks guys for watching my first video. If you've made it this far, once again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I definitely was struggling on what to make at first, but I felt pretty comfortable talking about this topic. I'm hoping I can up the quality as I make more videos. Until then, I'll see you later.